The Trump administration is mulling a new travel ban that would affect citizens from dozens of countries to varying degrees, including Bhutan. The name of Bhutan taken with big surprise, a country with the population of only 727,000 people and area of 38,398 square kilometers, is landlocked country located between India and China. Bhutan is totally dependent on India, due to strategic importance bordering Tibet-China, an area claimed by India as its part. Citing anonymous officials, it stated that the draft list comprised 43 countries, categorized into 3 levels of travel restrictions. The red category of countries whose citizens would be completely barred from entering the United States includes Afghanistan, Bhutan, Cuba, Iran, Libya, North Korea, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen. Another 10 countries in the orange category, Belarus, Eritrea, Haiti, Laos, Myanmar, Pakistan, Russia, Sierra Leone, South Sudan, and Turkmenistan, would see their visas sharply restricted. In those cases, affluent business travelers might be allowed to enter, but not people traveling on immigrant or tourist visas, the New York Times said. Citizens from countries on the orange list would also have to undergo in-person interviews to receive a visa. Another 22 countries on the yellow list would have 60 days to address U.S. concerns or risk being moved up to one of the more stringent categories. The officials, who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss the sensitive internal deliberations, cautioned that the list had been developed by the State Department several weeks ago, and that changes were likely by the time it reached the White House, it said. As one of his first acts in office, Trump froze the United States refugee admission program and almost all foreign aid. Trump ordered the U.S. government to identify countries whose nationals should be banned from entering on security grounds, a move akin to the so-called Muslim ban of his first term. That ban, which in 2017 targeted citizens of Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen, ignited international outrage and led to domestic court rulings against it. Iraq and Sudan were dropped from the list, but in 2018, the Supreme Court upheld a later version of the ban for the other nations, as well as North Korea and Venezuela. Bhutan could feature on the red list, along with countries such as Afghanistan, Cuba, Iran, Libya, North Korea, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen. All other countries on this list share certain prominent features. They are either long-term adversaries of the United States, such as Cuba, Iran, North Korea, and Venezuela, or they are countries known for their strong association with terrorism, like Afghanistan and Yemen, where the U.S. has been directly involved in fighting terrorism. A third category of countries is those that have been going through a civil war for a long time, such as Libya, Syria, and Somalia. Bhutan, officially the Kingdom of Bhutan, is a South Asian country, nestled in the Himalayas, between India and China. Bhutan, along with Tibet, converted to Buddhism at an early date. Although the country was never colonized, it became a protectorate of the British Empire in India. In 1910, the Treaty of Punakha guaranteed British advice in foreign policy in exchange for internal autonomy in Bhutan. The same arrangement continued under a new treaty with India in 1949, in which both countries recognized each other's sovereignty. Bhutan joined the United Nations in 1971 and currently has relations with 56 countries. While dependent on the Indian military for its security, Bhutan also maintains its own military units. The country was open to outsiders for the first time in the 1970s, when foreign tourists were allowed to visit the remote country. Even today, the government allows only a limited number of foreign tourists to enter the country each year, who must pay a daily fee for their visit. Bhutan did not get television until 1999. The country still lacks traffic lights, making it perhaps the only country in the world without them. The U.S. government has cited national security concerns and irregular migration patterns as the primary reasons for adding Bhutan to the list of countries subject to travel bans. According to official sources, there has been an unexpected increase in Bhutanese nationals overstaying their visas or attempting to enter the U.S. through unauthorized channels, as reported by the Economic Times. A local newspaper in Bhutan, the Bhutanese, reported that Bhutan was listed because of its high U.S. visa overstay rate. Around 43% of Bhutanese visitors overstayed their visas in year 2022, including 60% of tourists and business travelers, according to statistics from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security (DHS). The DHS also reported a 37% rise in Bhutanese visa violations in the past year, prompting stricter measures. There were 112 overstays out of 255 total visitors from Bhutan in year 2022. The following fiscal year, there were only 72 overstays out of 371 total visitors from Bhutan, according to local media reports. These visa violations and overstays may have prompted the Trump administration to place Bhutan on the red list, along with countries such as Afghanistan and Somalia. In an ironic twist of fate, Bhutan follows exactly the kind of immigration policies that Trump's MAGA supporters want to follow in the U.S. The Himalayan kingdom has for years followed an isolationist policy. Immigration in the country, even for tourism purposes, is strictly controlled. Every year, only about 100,000 tourists are allowed to enter the country. However, even among them, an overwhelming majority are from India, who only need an entry permit for Bhutan. Bhutan also maintains strict control over the country's citizenship. In 1985, the Bhutanese government passed a controversial law, which declared that anyone who could not prove residence from 1958 or earlier was an illegal immigrant. This proposed ban follows a significant immigration scandal in Nepal in 2023, where numerous Nepalese individuals, pretending to be Bhutanese refugees, gained entry into the United States. High-ranking Nepalese politicians, officials, and senior figures from refugee camps were reportedly involved in the scheme. Additionally, last year, reports emerged of several Bhutanese citizens crossing into Canada, with 5 individuals being detained. Data from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security reveals that 200 Bhutanese nationals were apprehended for illegal residency in the United States between 2013 and 2022 under the category of expulsions and non-citizens apprehensions by region and country of nationality. Overnight, thousands of ethnic Nepalese became stateless citizens. Over the next few years, more than 100,000 ethnic Nepalese people, nearly 1/6 of the Bhutanese population, were expelled from the country. Now, Trump wants to adopt similar, tighter immigration controls and deport people deemed illegal immigrants.